Hey, this is a video of the startup for my Austin Western 99H. So, my original tires that Skidil had called Laterno tires had dry rotted really bad, and I removed them and replaced them with these military tires, 395/85. And I'm struggling a lot keeping the inner tubes from ripping the valve stem off. Spent a lot of time repairing them. Painful, super painful. I put the sleeve on the inside, and I'm trying different methods of, keeping it going. All right, so 99H. I have several of these. I have a 99M and a 99K. This specific one is got hydraulic drive for turning the table. All-wheel drive, all-wheel steering. You can see in the back the hydraulic ram. 13-foot blade, 8-inch edge. One side of the engine is gasoline. See the spark plugs right there. Magneto off of an International Harvester. The other side is diesel. Double pre-filters. I'm using oil canisters on the inside as pre-filters because I couldn't find actual fuel filters in the canister style. Secondary for collecting water, and it's got a little bit of water on the inside of it. I had trouble blowing lines off. This came off of one of the other machines. Okay, let's go through a startup. I'm trying to make a shorter video. I did this yesterday and failed. It was like 21 minutes. Nobody gives a shit. So, gasoline on. This is not even a carburetor anymore. It's just a bowl. It's just a bowl that it sucks the vapor off of the top. And one side is gasoline, one side is diesel. This weird valve that lifts a plug on the top of the motor and activates and deactivates the injectors or the carburetor on the other side. The diesel goes back into the tank when it's going through its warm-up procedure. Alright, like I said, I'm trying to make this faster than a 21-minute video. Here we go. Startup procedure. Okay, did the fuel on the outside. I checked the oil yesterday. Let's see how this goes. Mine has bullet holes too, see? Yep. Starts right up. Let's see if it keeps going. It likes chugging a little bit on the startup on the gasoline. Alright, so there you go. This machine is cold. It was like 18 degrees last night in Colorado, and it's running on gasoline now. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the machine. So this has a ripper. Sits right here, faces forward. I've installed the hydraulic ram. I got all the hoses. This machine's taken me approximately 3 years to get it to this point. Lots of reworking and hoses and transmission problems and leaking differentials and tires and so on and so forth. But that's it, running on gasoline. Originally, when I got the machine, it was really difficult to get it started when it was cold because of the linkage inside of here. When you transfer it over from running on gasoline to diesel, it wants to choke itself out. And like I said, that's not really a carburetor. It's just a fuel bowl. There's no float, no needles, there's no science in there. It's just a fuel bowl. It sucks the vapor off the top of it. And backfires badly when it does that. it's got this little spot right there that stops it from backfiring because it just sucks so much fuel into the top side of the engine and then cavitates, and then it swaps over to diesel and just wants to blow the exhaust pipe off. You can see where it's broken the bracket. So I struggled with that for a long time because science isn't out there. Like, you're not going to school to learn how to do this stuff. It's just me figuring it out. So I remachined a bushing, some linkage components that go all the way up to the cab. You can see it was all super sloppy. And now I've got it all fixed, so it does it. But it stumbles when it's cold. It stumbles badly when it's cold. But it's still warming up, so I'm going to keep on babbling just for a split second. Alright, so the Letourneau tires that Skidil had mentioned were problematic. They were still functional, but I'm trying to run this thing. So I put these military tires on there, and man, it has just been an endless struggle. It just wants to rip the valve stems off. I can't find the right inner tubes that fit at this offset angle, and it's got this rib on the inside. So on this specific one tire, I am using a 920 truck tire, which, as you can see, it's still pinching the inner tube, and that's with the sleeve on the inside to keep it from pinching and destroying itself. Operating pressure is around 50 to 75 psi. I've gone as high as 100 psi in the hopes that I could keep it from spinning and ripping the inner tube off, and that failed. So over and over and over and over, I have repaired these things probably 3 times each. All right. If anybody's got any advice on inner tubes that will stop this colostomy bag of effort. I mean, I've just over and over and over and over, I have taken these things off, and they're dangerous. They're split rims, and the tires suck in the first place because they're military garbage. So you understand where I'm going. You're all machine people, so you understand what I'm saying. All right, so it's cleaned up. I feel like it's gonna start. So like I said, I've repaired the linkage for the diesel. My pressure is up, charging is even, temperature is still really low, but whatever. This pulls the plug and triggers the magneto and the carburetor. This is the diesel throttle. As soon as I pull this back, it drops the plug and activates the injectors. Like I said, it's cold, so it struggles pretty bad right at the beginning. There we go. And boom shalaka, we're running on diesel. You can hear the hydraulics, they're struggling because it's so cold. But like I said, now it's running on diesel. So it does need just a little bit before I go forward on anything else, like moving the hydraulics. Okay, so my thing is this. Anybody that's knowledgeable about graders, please help. The fuck is this thing? So it is a hydraulic ram, goes through 2 big journals and down to a drag link on the table. That makes sense. I don't understand the concept of that, because you have individual hydraulics here and here to level your blade, pitch it out, the table rotates, does this thing. I don't understand what that is. That doesn't make any sense. It's irrelevant and doesn't seem normal. It's obviously there for a reason. I mean, it's built extremely strong. Sadly, because I'm on a flat tire, I can't like pick up the blade and show you what it does. But it does this motion with my hand. So if you're set, it does this lifting thing. And super slow. It's not like it's a thing that would pick up over a rock or do a thing or whatever. It does not make sense to me. That drag link can be disconnected, flopped over, and go to that pin right there where my finger's at, and then it does the same irrelevant maneuver on the other side. Makes zero sense. Doesn't make any sense to me. Because like I said, it's got individual points for the hydraulics. Here it is up close. Basic drag link, super strong arm, journals greased. The damn drive line goes to the center of it. So there's the drive line, brake hub, drive line, journals. That thing is built into it for a reason. Some old person was like, hey, it needs to do this thing for a reason. I have no idea what for. And it hits itself. Look at this. If I go up at a certain point, it hits the frame. I don't know. It's super strong. It'll move the machine sideways. I mean, maybe that's what it's for. I have no idea. It doesn't make sense to me. So, this is probably the coolest part of it. These hydraulic cylinders have triggers. This is a trigger, and that's a trigger. It rotates the table by turning this cam. The other side of the cam has teeth. There's the teeth for the table. When that ram hits the end of its cycle, it just triggers it there and then starts this one, and it just rotates. Great. Super cool. How do we get the hydraulics all the way to it? There's this slip bushing on the inside of here with valves. So the hydraulics come down through here. This one's for... Okay, so all of this goes to these two motors. And then you've got a ram at the bottom for the side shift. It comes out the bottom. And this little sleeve, bushing sleeve, it's really difficult to explain, with a flange on it, just moves up and down at its own incognito to like control the pressure. It's super, super groovy. Axles are very different. I feel like they're Positrack non-slip, kind of, until the operator forces it to slip on the front end. The back end does not slip. It just locks it down. Like, both of those tires will push until it's buried and failing and ripping the valve stem off. So there you have it, 99H. Like I said, I have a 99M that's very similar, has lots of parts on it, so on and so forth. Very fun machine to work on. I've enjoyed working on it for years. The K model, same, but a little bit different. More of like, I would call it like a bench model type thing, because it's different and the welds aren't as pretty, but it has constant flow hydraulics that come to a tap that is like right about here. I think it was for like I'm gonna call it a rotor tiller, because I don't think they had grinders at that point in time. So let's call it a rotor tiller. And the table turns, does the thing, but doesn't have the same brackets like it's seen right here to slide the moldboard back and forth. It's got like bolt patterns. I don't know. Like I said, it's a carcass, so it's kind of is what it is. This one has hydraulics that go to this point, and you can put the solid rubber tire compactor, the roller compactor on the back. It just bolts right to here, and here, and here, and here. And a hydraulic ram comes out right there, lifts it up and down. Look at how good it runs. I wish I could take you guys for a drive. I mean, three to 5 times per tire. I have struggled immensely. I can't keep inner tubes in it. I mean, it's easy enough to do. It's dangerous. I mean, it's a split rim. Look at how janky these are. They're broken out. I had to build a cage to like set it in for obvious reasons. And this tire is running at I think this is 100. I think I put this one up to 100. That's 100. And I know for a fact that one back there is 100. But this tire went flat before I even got to use it. I put a $60 inner tube in it, and it ripped it before I even got to use it. Right there. Anyway, you machine people, you understand. Look at these big, I don't know, joints. Let's call this a joint. So it articulates and does all of this stuff, and man, I've really enjoyed working on it. A lot of fun. There's my video. Have fun.